AI may not replace your job, but the people who know how to use AI are going to take your money off the table while you're still struggling to finish the work in 2 weeks as they're finishing it in 3 business days. And today's video, I'm bringing together a list of short courses that I think are important for you to do as a creative, to invest in if you are serious about building a successful professional brand in the freelance industry in Uganda and Africa. Hi, you're welcome to today's episode. My name is Watsema Miriam and I'm a documentary photographer based in Uganda. If you know anything about me, it's the fact that I'm very passionate about storytelling, number one. And number two, I live for the joy of seeing creatives winning in their personal brands, especially freelance creatives. And the first group of those courses is short professional AI courses. I think that it is time we stop debating about whose job is going to be taken away by AI, because while it may not take away your job, the person who knows how to use it is going to beat you in terms of delivery, in terms of speed of how fast and how quality they deliver. And the thing I have learned about AI is it is not about you knowing how to use the AI alone. The knowledge you have in your domain, when you combine it with AI skills, you'll be able to beat both the people that have only the skill of AI and the people who only have the knowledge of the domain. When you have both and you put them together, you're going to be unstoppable. So YouTube is a good place for you to start learning about AI in a soft-paced and taught way. ALX, the website, is also a good place for you to sign up and do some self-paced AI courses. But also, I am aware that Claude now provides self-tutorials where you can tutor yourself using the help of Claude to teach you different things, including things about how AI works. I would say you take some time and invest in that. I want to share an example of a new Ugandan company that I'm really fond of now. It's called Lucid. And Lucid is by a young gentleman called Elijah Kasuja. And he's revolutionizing the making of websites in Uganda, let's say in Africa, because I'm sure he has clients all over. And these guys are now delivering websites within 3 working days, something that would be taking months for you to deliver, weeks for you to deliver. There is a younger generation of people that have mastered Claude, how to use Claude and other AI tools, and they're delivering websites within 3 working days. So for you, the photographer, the videographer, the animator, the graphics designer, whatever kind of creative venture you're into, I don't think this wave should leave you behind. I feel like the people who are incorporating AI in their work now, again, like I usually say, are like the guys who started dancing on TikTok in 2020. And by 2026, they are internet famous and they're making millions out of it. So get onto this boat, because in 5 years' time, those guys are going to be ruling the industry. The second category of courses I think you should get into as a creative is financial courses. It's time to be knowledgeable about investment, about taxes, about registration of your company, URSB, KCCA for those who are in Uganda. Basically, financial literacy, both saving and budgeting and investment and the entire financial ecosystem. It's important for you to understand it now, because you're moving very fast into a life where, well, everything is very digital. Money is digital completely. I know in Africa, it's not 100% a reality, but I'm aware that in most of the developed countries, they're already living in that reality. But we're moving towards a life where finances are so digital that you better figure out a way to also have investments that are digital. I know that we come from a generation of parents whose wealth was stored in land, in houses, and those assets are still very important. But I think that for creatives, given the way that we earn, the only way we can be able to translate into assets is if we figure out a way to also take care of our money digitally, because that's the world we're living in and we continue to live in. I wrote down a list of people, Ugandan creators, that I think you can look for and some African creators that have a lot of content on financial investments, that whose content you can start consuming from there as look into getting into like doing short courses about the same. And my list is Hilda Bahati, Audrey Tumwine, Kalanda Hauda, Manuela P. Mulondo, Pumla Nabachwa, Narota Matia, and Kakande Alex. So these are just to mention but a few, but there's so many guys that are sharing content about financial knowledge that I think you'll need as a creative, because these are guys who are spending all their time reading about finances. So they're doing the heavy lifting for you. All you have to do is consume in 1 hour what they've taken years to master, but get into it. The other short course that I think is important is public speaking courses. I already mentioned Toastmasters in this video and recommended them. This is a club that you can be part of and invest something in your There are many public speaking classes that are happening in Kampala and in Africa. There's this lady called Faith Fetaru. If you go on LinkedIn and just type in public speaking in Kampala or in whatever city you're in, they should be able to come out. Don't be convinced by being behind your laptop and stay. Where our industry is heading, everyone is going to get to a point where they can be in front of a camera and speak, or in front of your colleagues in a boardroom. You should be able to translate your value into verbal communication. I've mentioned that several times before in all the older videos. And then I also want you to get into leadership courses. Why leadership courses is because 10 years after being a freelance photojournalist, photographer, I realized that time comes when you need to translate the passion you have into some sort of business, even if you're a one-man army. You need to have some business structure in your passion, in whatever it is you're pursuing. And things may seem obvious, but there are certain things that you need to be aware of all the time. There's a consciousness in you that needs to be awakened, and it can only be awakened in certain environments. So I wrote down a list of some leadership things that have been put around for leaders that you can be part of and participate. Number one is the Grow program by South Africa. It is a paid program. You pay for it, but the money is so worth it because they take you through like 5 different units that help you discover yourself as a leader. You get to know about your money, you get to know yourself, you get to know where your clients are, you get to understand your business. And this has been done by experts who are spending all their lives studying that one thing. I think it's a very important course for you to get in. And then there is the Huduma Fellowship by Leo Africa Institute. There is also the Young Emerging Leaders program, also done by Leo Africa. All these are programs designed for young people, especially creative people that are doing outstanding things in their communities, business-wise, work-wise, impact-wise. And you need a certain polishing and a certain awakening to find that type of leader in you and also understand people, to know how to manage people. There is a level of freelance you get to, and you need to become that person in order to get to the next level. Otherwise, you plateau. The 5th set of courses that I think we need to get into as creatives without avoiding them at all is the SDG courses. I've said this time and time again in many of my videos. I refer to SDGs a lot. In the previous video we did about solutions journalism, I illustrated how you can work with SDGs to make your stories relevant. Anything you do, whatever idea you have, SDGs can literally help you make something that is so local to only your family have global relevance by simply understanding them. So there are many short courses on the internet, on different websites, but also I think there might be one on YouTube about understanding SDGs. Just go Google it and take time and study about them and understand them. And then the last category of courses that I recommend for all of us to get into, especially those of you that are photographers and videographers, is actual professional photography courses, stroke videography courses, cinematography courses. It is important for us to do the professional things. I know that in the setting we're in Africa, specifically in Uganda, most of us are self-taught, right? You are an apprentice to someone, so you learn from them. You hang around with a photographer friend long enough, you learn how to use a camera, you find out you love taking pictures, you discover that you can figure out aperture and ISO, and you do it, you make some money, you get good pictures, you get paid. But eventually you need to get to a point where you get a professional course, because you risk plateauing and staying at that level for a very long time. So do find the professional courses. I'd recommend things like the Canon Academy, the f-stoppers and YouTube channels. I think I need to do another video about the different YouTube channels that I recommend for photographers and videographers, cinematographers to look at if they want to learn and better their photography in a professional way and take it to the next level besides just self-teaching. That's it for this video. And just to recap the points that we covered, the short courses, we talked about the AI courses, we talked about public speaking courses, leadership courses, SDG courses, photography courses. Until the next one, bye and see you.